Right, so I'm going to start outside with a new video. So panels, and then roughly put this one on place because obviously the torque element is too far. But as you can see by the wheel in the front, the wing needs to go further back. But obviously this frame itself is based on the wheelbase of 114 inches, which is a short wheelbase. So just a normal rear bed would fit. However, it's only literally 4 straight sides, so dead easy to make, which was always going to be my plan anyway. Hood or bonnet, whatever you want to call it, is there. Needs a very little amount of work. There's a slight bit that needs repair on that side, but it's nothing major. Front end, so she is basically sat on the deck in terms of chassis. Front end's mounted, and let's just have a look at it basically. So panel work is in very good condition. No real rot or anything where you would expect to see it, and it all looks pretty bloody original. So frame wise, we've got the front section mounted on, because obviously usually it's a rad support. There is a rad intercooler to go into it, and they've got everything's kind of made for that. You just got to wire the tabs on the chassis for it. Got custom shocks, custom full-on front custom clip, fully adjustable, so obviously all the angles and everything are worked out, but you do have shims to move it back and forth, because obviously on the Mustang stuff it's normally a T-bolt setup, which is really bad because as soon as you hit anything with on one of those, if you hit anything kind of like a pothole in the road, it can knock out your geometry massively, whereas you can't do that with the way that this is designed. So there is an airbag to go in, but basically, yeah, I'll run on full air ride front and rear, which is obviously lifted up. Now, engine wise, that's mounted. That's an M57 out of BMW 3 litre. It's out of my old car actually. It's just turned over 101,000 miles, runs mint. Manual box, so let's go and have a quick look inside. Oh, before I do actually, wings, good condition. Boards, running boards, good condition. Obviously rear fender's good condition. There's no rot here, which annoyingly I could show you in the other video. Well, there we go. You can see there's no rot down there. Door bottoms, good, no rot. Cab corners, again, the metal, they're not made of fiberglass like a lot of these are. So they're really good. So with this side round here, no rot around any of this, which is unusual because normally they sweat from the top inside and then water kind of accumulates and they kind of rust through the bottom. It's the same with the front, so I'll show you that now. So front end, similar, just got basically a little bit of kind of glue that needs taken out, and then she's pretty much ready to put a new seal in. So interior wise, I do have proper hinges as well, hinge pins, but it's just on these for the time being. Interior wise, again, very good. So we've got the door panels that sit in, 2 there. We've got the inner fenders for the front. The only thing I don't have is a tunnel cover, but again, obviously any kind of engine you're going to run in that will need a tunnel cover, whether it's this M57 or it would suit a Cummins 6BT to be fair. But yeah, this is kind of how it is inside. Really good condition, really good condition for an old American truck. I have got new chromes for these, which are really expensive. I've got some kind of water meter gauges and stuff for that. But again, doors very good condition. So we move on to the back. Now this is in theory aired out because the front's on bump stops and the rear's on bump stops. I probably should mention that the bump stop's fully adjustable, so you can lift it so it doesn't sit on the floor completely. However, it does sit on the floor at the moment, and the clearance on the engine is exceptional. It's a good few inches on the lowest point of the sump, so that's really good. So back end, 4-link and panhard setup. Now obviously it's correctly done. I've seen a few builds where people don't do this properly and they put the bars in anywhere they're supposed to. This is designed so they're completely parallel at ride height. They're obviously not parallel now because there's no airbags in it, and this is theoretically sat on bump stops, which is a full drop. These parts here, you can spin them out and you can move where the bump stop sits. We've got panhard on the back. You see back lower. It can be spaced in and out, and obviously the 4-links can be done the same. We've got, obviously it's all welded up at the moment. We just spin around. This panel here is just tacked as a brace for the time being. Reason being was I wanted to work out where the prop hoop was going to go. So that can be moved and just a prop hoop put into it, but obviously it acts as a brace. Everything else further back is fully welded, and obviously everything further forward is fully welded. So it's only really working out where that one needs to go. We do have the mounts for the running boards, which are down here, laser cut. I've already pre-made them. I ordered extra, but the pre-made ones are there, so they just need welding on, so not a big deal, to be honest. But yeah, so we've got 5/8 hardware, 5/8 rover joints, obviously brand new, 5/8 bush ends. They're left and right, so obviously you can just loosen it, extend and retract, or whatever you need to do with that, so they're made properly, proper job. And we've got heavy duty rear shocks which work for the whole kind of movement of the air ride. So this is how it kind of sits at the minute. Plan is obviously when that wing goes back, and the only reason that's not gone back is because it's backed up way too much to this bloody tool cabinet. But yeah, once that's kind of once all the air ride is in and the truck's running, it will sit the running boards on the floor completely. But as I say, if you want a bit of clearance on that, you just need to adjust the rear bump stops and obviously the front bump stops, which are kind of on the front lower arms. But that is kind of how she sits. Hopefully that gives you a good walk around. It's an extremely good shell. There is going to be a bit of minimal kind of metal work that you'll need to do, as with anything, but I've bought stuff for like 10, 12, 15 grand before, and it's normally, you just find filler in it, like kind of in these corners, which they are bob on this. So yeah, any questions? There is a load of obviously brand new parts of it. I'm happy to sell it as bodywork only, with or without paperwork. I'm also happy to just sell the front end, because I know someone that wants that cab and the hood to make a hot rod out of, well, rat rods, and they don't want any kind of the fender work on it. So we can do a deal on that. I can do a deal as it all complete. I can do it with the air ride, without the air ride, with the forelink, without the forelink, with wheels, without anything. Yeah, we can just work something out. Obviously top line rear axle as well, that's fully reconditioned and bought with projects I bought before. Ideally I want to keep that, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So that is that. Obviously there's a lot of laser cut stuff as well. So we've got a laser cut down here where you can see the pan hard bracket, obviously the axle stuff. All this was made, I've made it so it all kind of clipped together, and then I could just obviously TIG weld it or MIG weld it. But yeah, there's kind of a lot of engineering gone into this frame, and it's all been built obviously on a jig table. So yeah, job's good. Any questions, just drop me a message.